What's going on, guys? This is Tony Hannity's, and this is the Tony Tech Talk, Episode 2. Today is basically a big day for Apple and Samsung alike, and, well, let's just go ahead and get started. So the whole Samsung-Apple lawsuit is now over. Judge Koh finally made a decision, and Samsung has been found guilty of at least three patents out of the, I think it was like 50 patents that Apple had in the beginning. Samsung was ordered to pay Apple close to $119 million to Apple, but originally Apple wanted $2.5 billion. So it's kind of a drop in the bucket, but for everyday people like you and me, it's still a lot of money. However, Samsung also did win an injunction against Apple, but they're only getting about $158,000. So in this regard, Samsung did not win against Apple, but these are both drop in the buckets. These are just chump change for these companies, and it's just really essentially a pride thing. They're just trying to see who has the better marketing value, who has the better stance. And when it all comes down to it, this is not really a good move for innovation for people like you and me. In my opinion, it's not something that's good for the everyday consumer. It's wasting a lot of money, taxpayer money, and in the end, these companies are going to continue copying, stealing, whatever the case may be. But if you care to know, Samsung was found guilty of violating patent 5946647, which was the autocorrect patent. Also, they were not found guilty of violating 6847959 patent, which was Apple's Spotlight search. Samsung was not found guilty violating 7761414, which is the data synchronization patent, but they were found guilty of violating the patent, which was the slide to unlock, the 8046721 patent. And I do believe that the big one that was a surprise to me, I do believe that they were found guilty of knowingly infringing on the patent, which allows you to, it was the one where you can actually click on a link and it automatically opens up the phone and you're able to make a phone call. Now, I swear I've seen that before the iPhone even existed, but what do I know? So, is this over? Is it done? Probably not. We'll probably see this come up again because these are on specific devices, and as we know, Samsung comes out with new devices almost every month, and it's a possibility that Apple is going to jump back on the whole lawsuit bandwagon and file something against them in just a few months from now. So we'll wait and see. Maybe Samsung will appeal on this like they did last time, but it'll be interesting to see how this comes about. Now, talking about Apple, we've heard all these rumors that they're going to come out with an iWatch or another like iTV. According to the guys over at Recode, it looks like at WWDC, they're not going to announce anything of the sort of a new vertical. Everything's pretty much going to be the same, although we will see what's coming up in iOS 8 and possibly OS X 10.10. So keep an eye out for that as WWDC is just around the corner in June. And also another, press event, not so much a developer event, but a press event that's right around the corner is the Samsung Health Press event here in beautiful San Francisco. It's going to be held on May 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And according to the press invite, this is a new conversation around health, and it is about to begin. What does that mean? Well, we've already seen the Gear Fit. Samsung has the all-encompassing fingerprint, or I guess the heart rate monitor on the back of the Galaxy S5. And they did mention that they're going to come out with an Android Wear device, but they didn't say exactly what that might be. So this might be an announcement which encompasses the Android Wear device. Who knows? We'll find out. And it looks like we might be going to that event too. So stay tuned for live updates on that in just a few weeks. And when it comes to Samsung, they have a lot of market share in the overall market on Jelly Bean, as well as Kit Kat, as they're one of the first major OEMs to release devices with Kit Kat right out of the gate. New numbers from the Android distribution poll was released today, and Froyo is at a measly 1%, so thank God for that. Gingerbread's still around at 16%, Honeycomb at 0.1%, ICS 13.4%. Jelly Bean breaks down as the majority shareholder, if you will, and then Kit Kat is at 8.5%. So it's rising. Last month they were at 5.3%. So it's rising little by little, slowly. But it'll get there, and we'll get rid of Froyo. We'll get rid of Jelly Bean. Or rather, maybe not Jelly Bean. We'll get rid of Gingerbread in the near coming future. And the last thing I just wanted to touch on was the AR Free Flight is now available on Windows 8.1. Now, if you're not familiar with this is basically the remote control application you can use to control your paired AR drone or quadcopter. So if I could go over here and share my screen here so you can actually see what the quadcopter looks like. You've probably seen this at Brookstone, Toys R Us, what have you. And they've had Android and iOS apps, and they also, I believe, have their. Well, I don't know if it actually has its own remote control, but I know the whole concept behind it was that it's a Bluetooth control quadcopter and controlled by iOS, and that was the first mobile device that could control it. And now it's available to Windows 8, not Windows Phone though. So it's only Windows 8. So if you have a Dell Venue 8 Pro or Surface 2, you can download the app for free, connect it over Bluetooth to your paired drone, and fly it overhead, just like we're seeing here, with ex-CEO Mr. Steve Ballmer. Or I guess former CEO, just is a nicer way of putting it. So that's pretty much it. So just to recap, Samsung owes a crap load of money, Apple not so much. They're not coming with an iWatch, probably not an iTV. iOS 8 is going to be a little bit more health focused as they're coming out with that health app. Latest numbers from Android, Kit Kat's on the rise, Froyo's finally going bye-bye, and Samsung has a big event next month. Well, I guess this month, the month of May, at the latter end of it. So that's pretty much it. You guys have a great weekend. We may or may not have any kind of Tony's Tech Talk this weekend, as well, it's the weekend. But if you have any questions, comments you want to leave me, you can do it here on the Google Plus channel, I guess, or on my channel at Teen Ninja 3000 on YouTube, or just hit me up directly at Twitter, LTG Tony. I know I was a little flustered getting it started, so thanks for staying with us. Any questions from the peanut gallery? None? Okay. Well, you guys have a good one. Thank you very much.